Good afternoon, this is Karen with Karen's Cards and More, and today I want to show you how sometimes we can just do something that may look simple but can really give a great look to our cards and be really quick and easy. So there's no reason to not be able to have a card ready. Even this card you can do in just a matter of a few moments and have a beautiful handmade card. So let's talk about this card. The stamping comes from a set called Bottled Happiness, and that's going to be in the new catalog coming out May 3rd. And when I first got, to be honest, when I first got this set, I didn't know how much I was going to use it. I thought, I don't know that I really like this set that well, until I started making this card, and then I fell in love with it. So you have two stamps that work together. So this creates the flowers and these little sprigs, and then this comes in and puts the detail to like the leaves and then the inner parts on the inside of the flower. So these two work together. And then you have various bottles here. We're going to be using these two as well as this sprig. And then we're also going to be using this Sending a Little Message. So let's go back to the card. So I wanted to feature one of the new in colors, and actually we're using a couple of them today. The base is Tahitian Tide, and that piece is 5.5 by 4.25. So we just have a piece of that. And then you're going to need a piece of basic white that is 7.5 by 5, and you're going to score it at 3 3/4. And so that's going to make us, this part is going to open up. You have plenty of room to write on the inside. So it's overall the A2 card size, just a little different take on it. And then we're going to be using Tahitian Tide and Starry Sky for our flower stamps. And then for the sprig stamp, we're going to be using Sahara Sand. And then we're going to be using the Brushed Brass Butterflies. We're going to put one of those on there as well. So let's get started. This is going to be quick and easy today. So I've already got this scored. And I'm going to come in with, I have these long Post-it notes that I'm going to put right up against that fold line. Right up against it. And this is just to mask off so that I don't get ink on the back side of my card. You could use masking paper. You could tape down some copy paper right here. Whatever works for you. I just have these long Post-it notes, so it was going to work really well. And I'm going to start with the stamp that has the flowers on it, not the little inserts in the middle, but the one that has the actual petals to it. And we're going to start with Tahitian Tide. And so I'm just going to stamp this down this left side and around the bottom with this. And I want to bring in a foam mat underneath here. Okay. I've just got a piece of scrap paper here underneath so that it will catch if I stamp off. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I want to just come in and I'm just going to stamp that down. I'm just going to continue to go around. I think that looks good. And then I want to do one more just along this bottom. Just like that. Okay, And then I'm just going to go to the inside. I just want to do a little, let me show you on the finished card. I'm just doing a little corner of that. So I'm just going to ink it up and decide which part of the flower that I want to feature on this little corner. And I think I want to go just like that. Just like that. Okay, now we're done with the Tahitian tide for the moment. And we're going to come back with our starry sky and do the next part of this with the other stamp. Now, you can see the little inserts, and I'm going to point to it from underneath so you can see where I'm pointing. And I line those up because those go in the whole flower, and then these little ones go in the other parts. So I always go by lining up those full flowers. So I'm just going to open this up and get this inked up. Okay. And then I'm just going to figure out, and I just turn it, I know here's a full flower and here's a full flower. So I'm looking for the two full flowers. And it looks like if I do this, it'll have them lined up and it'll have the other pieces lined up in the other flowers. So I'm going to go right there. Just like that. And it gives you a really pretty flower. So then I'm just going to come in and we're just going to continue to do this around. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm just going to turn my stamp till I get the two big flowers lined up. Okay, that's going to line them up right there. And I'm just going to put that down. It's like that. I'm going to keep going till we get them all done. Like that. And then I'm just going to flip it over so that we can do this little part here. And I'm just going to turn it till I get it in the right place. It's going to go just like this. Just like that. And so we're definitely done with the starry sky. And I'm going to come in with the Sahara sand. Flip that back over, and I'm just doing this sprig, and I just want to put it at different places just to be like a filler. So I know I definitely want it to go in here. Just like that, just kind of filling in, just giving some, bringing in another color. Just like that. And you could do as many of these or as few of these as you want. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to do one just like that on the inside of that. Okay, so now we're done with all that. And then there's just one more part that I did to add to this card. I'm going to move my Sahara sand out of the way, and I'm just going to be using a blending brush, and I'm going to be using the Tahitian Tide, and I just want to get some color over what we just stamped. And I want to go a little up into the white, but I don't want to cover all of the white. I want to take this foam mat out for the moment. We'll use it again in a moment when we're going to stamp our greeting, but for now we don't need it on there. And I'm just going to, this is just going to add some of the blue around our stamped image. But I want to go a little into the white, but I don't want to cover all of the white. So I'm just filling in, just kind of making a shadow, just like that. And then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the same on this little corner. Just giving it a shadow. Just like that. And we do need the starry sky for one more thing. We're going to use the starry sky for our greeting. And we're just going to stamp this in here. Just like that. And then we're ready to peel off. So we have a nice crisp edge to our design. And then we're just going to go ahead and fold this in half. Just like that. And then I'm just going to bring in my bone folder. I want to make sure to give this a good crease. And you can see I got some ink on the back of this, but it's really not going to matter because we're going to be attaching this down on our card base. I'm going to move this out of the way since it's got a lot of ink on it, so that I'm not transferring any of the ink on my card. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Seal. I'm just going around this, and you can see how easy, how quickly this card is coming together, because we're almost done. And so I'm just going to center this on the card base, press it down, and then I'm going to come in with one of my butterflies. And just put that there. And there we have it. Real quick, easy card that you can put together featuring the Bottled Happiness set. I hope you'll give this a try. And if you are new to my channel, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video. You can check out my blog, karenscardsandmore.com. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page as well. And I will be back to craft with you again soon.